I would like to talk to one of the competitors here. Now, the idea here was that regular people were going to show up with their cars, maybe not the CTS-V. One of them, Mike Cooper from Long Island, New York. Is that right?
Yes.
You came here in a BMW M3, which is actually quite a bit smaller and about 150 horsepower down on the CTS-V. You put up the best time in any of the challengers, about 4 seconds behind John Heinrichs there in the CTS-V. But you did get to take the CTS-V for a lap. What'd you think of the car compared to your M3?
I thought it was really fast compared to the M3. The brakes held up a lot better. Overall, it was great on the track. I'd love to get a timed lap with it, but I think it's too late in the day for that.
It's a bigger, heavier car, but how does it handle these turns out here compared to, you've got what a lot of people consider the ultimate sports sedan?
You don't really feel the weight when you're out there. The steering is a little lighter in the CTS-V, which doesn't necessarily make it feel lighter, but it feels like the same type of car, like the same weight.
Now, performance is one thing. What do you think about the overall look Cadillac's got going on right now, the interior and all that? Is that something that would appeal to someone who's driving a BMW?
Yeah, I think definitely. It's really nice. It's got Recaro seats, which definitely match up to the M seats, and all the amenities seem to be there.
How do you feel as far as matching up against some of these top drivers? I mean, you've been in pretty good time. John Heinrichs, he's been doing this for a long time, and you were within, 4 seconds of his lap?
Yeah, and also my car was a little less adequate than his, but I think I would definitely be a second or two off him, but still closer in the same car.
And, of course, Bob Lutz was the one who put the challenge down. He didn't win. He did a pretty good job out there, though. But how do you think he looked out there today?
To be honest, I was surprised. I thought he was going to be faster, and I was kind of scared coming. I didn't expect to have a chance to win coming. I expected to just have fun and see Bob beat me by a few seconds. But when we got here, it's a different story now.
Well done. Definitely put on a pretty good show for your car, but, it sounds like you like that CTS-V as well. I mean, we've driven this out here, and it is a fast car. How about that back straight? 7/10 of a mile, I think it is, maybe even a little longer than that. 556 horsepower.
I wasn't looking down. I know I was up in fifth gear somewhere. I was just looking for the brake point.
Were you driving the manual or the automatic?
Manual.
Very nice, very nice. All right, well, Mike Cooper, congratulations. Well done. I'd like to talk to somebody else right now, our old friend, Wes Seiler from jalopnik.com, also helferleather.com. He's always our motorcycle expert on the show. Helferleathermagazine.com. I always forget that. Yeah, I'm almost afraid to know what helferleather.com is when you look it up.
We're number one in Google, so just put it in Google instead of your...
All right, so you are significant in this event because when Bob put down the challenge, you were the first one who took it up, or at least Jalopnik took it up on your
behalf.
On your behalf. You couldn't get a car. None of the other automakers wanted to send a car to challenge.
Yeah, Jag pulled out 2 days ago. They were somehow convinced that the brakes in an XFR wouldn't last 5 laps. A little bit embarrassing.
Now, you've driven that car as well. Do you think they were smart to do that, or would that car maybe put in a pretty good show here?
I think it would have done really well. I've never had any issues with the brakes in that car, and I think that if had I driven that, I could have probably beaten Bob's time.
Now, you did come here and again, it's one of those you brought a knife to a gunfight sort of situations. Yeah. Mitsubishi Evo, great performance car, but 290 horsepower, small, compact, all-wheel drive. Didn't maybe have what you needed.
I've never driven an Evo on the track before, but it wasn't what I expected. I wasn't worried about the power deficit because I figured with all-wheel drive and torque factoring, I could get the power down so easily out of corners that just a rear-wheel drive 550 horsepower Cadillac just can't. Even as impressive as the CTS-V is, the Evo should have it in the corners. It's lighter, it's got the all-wheel drive, and I was so disappointed in the car. Like I said, I've never driven one on the track before. It was abysmal, absolutely just abysmal. Biggest problem I had was grip. It's wet here today, sort of damp, and the tires I have on there have no grip. It's a tire issue, not necessarily a car issue, but I also had problems with the gearbox overheating, and the fuel tank doesn't have baffles in it, so I had fuel starvation issues in corners.
This does not sound like a good car for such a legendary sport compact.
I've only ever driven on the road, and I've always really liked them, but on the track, it's not made to work on the track. It's not a track car. It was terrible.
Now, you didn't get to take any laps in the CTS-V today, right?
I didn't today, but I have driven the CTS-V here before quite a bit.
What do you think about it? Performance aside, put the full package together compared to M5, XFR, a Mercedes AMG. How do you think it holds up in the showroom?
My first choice in four-door performance stands would be the BMW M3. It's just a really impressive package. It's basically a Ferrari that's reliable. It has 4 doors. But the CTS-V is faster in a straight line. It looks better. It's got a much nicer interior. It's bigger. It sounds great. It's a really outstanding car. If it wasn't for track driving, it was for road driving, I would definitely take the CTS-V.
You're a fan of the interior and all that, because I know you like the European cars, and that is a very American car.
I grew up in England. I like European cars, but that CTS-V has a nicer interior than any Mercedes or any BMW going right now.
That's pretty high praise.
It deserves it. Yeah.
All right. And remember, he was one of the challengers here today. Cadillac did not bring him here. This wasn't even one of them fancy paid junkets you used to go on.
No. I'm not a huge fan of Cadillac. Not a huge proponent of Bob Lutz. I really wanted to kick his ass today. And actually, I wanted to correct something you said earlier. You said John Heinrich won the challenge, and it wasn't a race today against John Heinrich. He's a professional race car driver. Everybody's here today to race Bob Lutz. Bob Lutz got his ass handed to him by an M3 and by 2 journalists.
He did come in, what is it, 4th or 5th, I guess?
4th, yeah.
All right. Well, again, but you throw in his 7-second, 77-year-old bonus there, and he gets into the top 3, I think.
The biggest thing to take away from this is sort of how cool this was for a major car manufacturer to take risks, have an actual challenge. They actually got beaten, but still the positive message here for Cadillac that they could throw down a challenge, put their money behind it, put their money where their mouth is, and show up and do it. That's awesome.